Okay, I've hit record. So, firstly, thank you for taking the time to talk to me because I know you're really busy with the kids and everything like that.
You're welcome. Anything for you?
So, I just wanted to talk to you because, like, you've been a senior, you've been a senior now for well over a year, but you've been a student of mine for over 2 years, and you've seen so much. You've seen so much of everything that I've been through, and the drama that was my life, and the development of this new way of working, and the development of my gift and stuff like that. And I was wondering if you could just explain to my viewers on YouTube and that what this journey's been like for you, being a part of this process.
It's been a struggle. It's been hard work. It's been eye-opening. It's been a challenge to myself and made me realize what I'm actually capable of, and that I have to have trust in myself in order for all of this to happen. And you have completely 100% guided me in the right way every single time and never once given up on me.
I've been hardest on you. I think out of every student I've ever had, I was hardest on you, and I couldn't understand why until I saw you do your first reading for one of my most loyal, longest serving clients, and then I realized it was because your gift is exactly like mine. And it was too easy for me to hide behind my own insecurities to not let this gift out. So I think maybe I was hard on you because my teacher had to be hard on me in order to bring it out. And when I saw the reading you did for my client, and it was so moving to me, the way that you spoke to her and the way that you touched her, and that it was like reading one of my own readings. The connection that you have with people when you connect to your gift is in such a loving, nurturing way. It made me see you in a different way. And then, of course, because you've stuck by me through everything that I went through, and you didn't give up on me, I fought loving you. I think I fought liking you because I didn't want to have to let go of you as well, so I tried to let you go, if that makes sense. But you just kept fighting it and fighting it and fighting it, and you wouldn't back down, and then I just ended up falling in love with you.
I love you too.
You're a fighter, and I love that about you. You don't give up.
No, I don't.
You're like a pit
When
bull.
I want something, when I want something, I go after it.
You really do. And as a consequence, because I completely relaxed and just let myself trust you and love the process that I was on, this new way of training has completely transformed your gift in a way that has just blown my mind. It has been an absolute privilege having these new sessions with you, because I've seen something come out that I honestly didn't think that you knew was in there. I thought you were never gonna, that it was never gonna click with you, that there was something in there that was so much better than what you thought was.
I think once I let go of what certain people would think of me, I think that's when it all started to come together. Once I stopped being afraid of how people might look at me and actually believing in myself that I could do it, I think that was a big part, because all along I knew there was obstacles I had to overcome.
As did I.
And there was 4 of them. And I think when I reached that last obstacle, all the weight that was on my heart, in my body, I just let it go. And I completely felt like a completely different person. And the trust that I have in myself now, than I had 2 years ago when I was even scared of the dark, scared anymore. And I think that is a big key to me overcoming all of the things I was scared of, worried about. I just don't care anymore.
Yeah.
And all I want is to help people just like you. You know, not for the money. I just want to make people happy and to give them closure.
Yeah.
And help guide them in a way that no one else can guide them.
One of the things that I absolutely found fascinating about you, and I think it's one of the reasons why I kept not, like I let so many other students go. One of the reasons why I felt this draw to keep you in is because you're the only person I know of other than myself that can physically see the fabric of time. Oh, you're cutting out on me, girl. Hello? Oh no, this happens every time. Elizabeth! Go back to the position you were in. No. Hello? Uh-oh. Hang on. Oh, camera's gone out. Hang on. Hang on, guys. Sorry about this. Don't know what happened there. Oh. Not connected. What the hell? Don't know what's happened there. Yeah, look at my dirty wall. Oh.
Deb?
Hello?
Yes, I'm here.
What happened?
I honestly don't know. I'm sitting in the same spot I was the whole time.
I think, well, it came up and said that I wasn't connected, but my internet was totally connected.
I don't know. I'm sitting in the same spot I was the whole time.
It's us. I'm telling you, every time I connect with my students, we all have battery issues or technology problems. I'm telling you, it's our energy together. That's why I said I'd love to get us on some of these locations and that, because I was saying to Joanne in the interview I did with her, I think the four of us together, me, you, Nikki and her, I think if we got our gifts together on location, we could be quite explosive.
Maybe.
Yeah, but what I was saying was you're the only other person I know that can see the fabric of time, like physically with your physical eyes.
Yes.
And it just fascinated me. And then because, since you've been letting go of all your anxieties and worries and stuff like that, like your gift literally transformed overnight. You can now have telepathic connections with your children, and you're having communication with spirit and that, which you desperately wanted before. So you can see now when I say to the people on my channel that when you let go of certain anxieties and stresses and worries and that, it improves your connection, it enhances your Wi-Fi, so to speak.
It brings down a barrier.
How is your gift different now since I've got this new way of training compared to how it was before, like in your perspective?
It's clear. It flows more easily. It's not like you're trying so hard. You don't worry whether or not your reading's going to be good. You have that trust that whatever comes to your head without giving it thought, that's what you either write down or tell the person.
Yeah.
And you don't second guess yourself anymore. You just know that whatever comes to your mind is what exactly needs to be said.
Yeah. Your readings are so full of love though, even when you're saying stuff to the person that they might not necessarily want to hear you do it in a way that's so comforting and accepting and beautiful. Like, your readings are so emotionally comforting, and that's what I love, because I want my students, when they go out to help people and that, I want people to feel the empathy that comes off you guys when you read, because you are like, you've forced me to love you whether I liked it or not, but the way you did it, you know, was so, even when it pissed me off, you know how you call me Sweet Pea, and I'm like, I'm not Sweet Pea, you know, but you know, like, it.
Oh, you called me Tinkerbell.
I know, but that's because you, like I was saying in my interview with Joanne, you sprinkle your fairy dust, and it's like, you know, like, I'll be like, have a face on me like the Grinch, and I'll be effing and blinding in that, or I used to, I'm not like that now, but, you know, you'd come along and sprinkle your fairy dust, or have a stroke when you were writing or something, and just make me laugh in a way that was like, oh God, you know, you kind of, you're like my husband in that regard. Like, even when I'm pissed off, you still make me laugh, which then pisses me off, because I want to stay pissed off, but then I can't be pissed off because you made me laugh.
Or I find those cute little quotes to send you.
Yeah, yeah, and it's like, I don't know, it's like, you're probably one of the strongest people I've ever met. Like, the way that you have gone through so much over the last 2.5 years since I've known you, like, everything that you've had to endure from a personal level with, you know, family stuff and work and blah blah blah, and you still did the training, and you still turned up for training, and you know, you never complained, and if you did complain, you would immediately turn it around to find a positive in the negative, and that, you actually taught me a lot, to be honest, you know. And I think, even though I tried to fight having anything with you, I think you are probably the catalyst for a lot of the change that I had, because of the fact that you were so strong in holding yourself up. It gave me the strength to hold myself up too, because you know everything I've been through, from the predictions with the kids and all the stuff I was writing about in my blog. I mean, you were one of my biggest fans with my blog. You said you used to get up every morning, get your coffee, and look forward to my articles and that. So you know the journey that I've been on. So you know the darkest things that I've come out of.
And it's the blog that brought me to you. You know, when I started getting interested in all this stuff, I searched the internet for someone who, you know, had all the answers, or, you know, just did what I wanted to do. And I found your articles, and I just couldn't stop reading them. And that's how I started training and found you, was because of your articles. And I did that. Instead of reading the newspaper or watching the news, I read your articles in your blog. And then I got really sad when you stopped writing, because I always looked forward to reading what you had to say.
The reason why I stopped is because WordPress started making me have to submit my work before they were uploading it.
Yeah.
And it was like, I'll just go to YouTube, you know, like, and then of course when they said it was time to, you know, pay to have my blog, you know, the debbie2kiwi.com thing renewed, and I said, what if I don't renew it? Does it go back to being what it was originally? And they said yes. So I thought, well, I'm not going to pay you to censor me. I'm not going to ask for permission to keep, you know, to keep talking. So I thought, I'll just let it go back to Kindazina 1972 at wordpress.com, which is what they assured me it would be. And then of course when the thing lapsed, my blog disappeared, and now it's all gone.
I know, I was trying to go back and read one of your articles on pets, and I couldn't find it, and I was so sad. I really wish I would have saved it, because, you know, even with humans, with loss, there's people that lose their pets. And that article would probably touch so many people, because a lot of people rely on their pets for their security and the love that they don't get from the human species.
Yeah.
And just the way you wrote that, I mean, I wish I could have kept that forever.
Yeah, I started trying to take stuff off, and they shut it down before I had a chance to get everything off. When I tried to turn it into a business blog, you know, I paid like $300 or something for them to help me do it, and it completely broke. Like I lost so much work. I had stuff kept in a file, and they deleted like all my work. It just all got deleted that I had in this file and that. So I thought, what am I paying for, you know? So then I started doing the YouTube and that, and it got to the point where I was sort of like, if this is what spirit says needs to be done, then what can I do? You know, I don't like it, but it is what it is, you know, and I'll just have to start again. So, but now the whole Wicks training as well, you know, like you're learning about totems, and you're going to learn about lunar cycles and palm readings, and you know, so it's a different kind of learning now, because now instead of reading my mind, you're going to be able to connect to your own through your gift, and you know, through your ancestry. And so it's starting to get exciting. And even you've said that you've noticed a massive change in the classes, and just the energy flow is completely different.
Yeah, especially when the butterfly let me hold him. It was just breathtaking. That was my sign. That's all I needed that day.
Yeah.
And it's amazing how certain little creatures can help you out in a way you never expected.
Yeah. And then wasn't a day or two after that you had that connection with your boy?
No. And that was, I mean, that's the first thing I did was I called you, because I didn't know what to think of it. Because, you know, I'm still having trouble with the dream interpretation. But, I mean, it was so real. And then when he woke up and said he was seeing things just like I was, and, you know, and then I ended up getting hurt in the dream, and then everything just fell into place what exactly was going to happen. It was, it was like a warning for me to keep an eye out as a parent that something was going to happen, and it did, and I was prepared.
It's beautiful how it works, eh? And the thing is, the old Beth would have panicked and stressed out, and it would have caused you a lot of anxiety. But because you've kind of stepped into your power now, your whole energy is completely different. Before, when we used to talk, there was always this feeling with you like a tightly wound spring, and now you're just like, you know, legs akimbo, balls hanging out, you know, sipping on a martini, not giving a flapping, you know, about anything. And it's completely transformed your gift in every kind of way. People like Joanne, for example, if you watch the interview I did with her, she just couldn't stop talking about how lovely you are, and you know what a nice energy you have, and how she was really touched that you sent her that little thing with the angel. I said, that's why we call her Tinkerbell.
Well, and that's the thing, like I was gonna message her, I was trying to do it on Messenger, but it wouldn't let me. But when my grandmother first passed away, I was told two things. One, that I should find something with butterflies on it. And I was at a store, and I found this really beautiful glass butterfly table, and it was on clearance, and I thought it was like $20 or whatever, and I'm like, that's too much, so I put it back. Well, then I had to go back to the store again to get a prescription, so I found the table, because I was really kicking myself for not getting it, and it ended up being $3.48. And then I was also told to look for an angel. And every time I thought of my grandmother, I always looked up at the sky. And I walked into this gardening shop, and there was that whenever you're thinking of me, just look up. So, of course, I had to get that, and I keep that right where I always sit, because when I look out the window and I'm thinking of her, all I do is look up.
Yeah.
So when she said that, you know, it just hit home, and it validated that it was her. And then with the apples in her old house, in her backyard, she had probably 10 apple trees. And, you know, my grandmother was the nicest person and encouraging, and never said a bad word about anyone. And, you know, I do think that I am a lot like her.
I was just about to say, I have never heard you say anything negative about anyone in any kind of way. Ever.
Nope, she was the nicest person you ever would have met. She never swore. Her family came first. She let herself go and did everything for her boys. Anyone that was sick, anyone that was in trouble, she was always there. So, and that's the one person I always miss talking to, is because she was, my other grandmother's still here, but she, there was 6 years where I didn't get to talk to her because she had Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
So, that's hearing from her is always very touching for me. And the fact that the looking up in the apple trees, I knew exactly right then and there that she was right on.
That's awesome. Now that you're stepping into that side of your training too, it won't be long before you'll be able to talk to her yourself.
Yeah, I can't wait, because you know what? We always called her B. So every time there's a B around, that's my sign that it's her.
Yeah.
Because her name was Phyllis, but we always called her B. So I always wear a little B charm to remind me of the person that she was and the person that I want to be.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Because it's always, you always see those things in the store that say, be happy, be kind, be courteous, be everything. And you know what? I just live by that. You always need to be nice to everyone. And it's sort of just a reminder of her every time I see something like that. So
she's left an incredible legacy then, hasn't she?
I try to think so. I try to be just like her.
So, just quickly before we wrap this up, how would you describe this journey that we've been on together? Like, how you've seen me at my absolute lowest with, the visions I was seeing with the kids and all these harrowing predictions I was making that were coming true, right through to me dealing with divorce and illness and weight loss. And, you've seen the whole gamut of the darkest up to, the lightest point. You've been a part of that entire journey. Like, how would you sum this whole thing up that we've been on together? Like, if bearing in mind that you're talking to my YouTube followers and that,
I think that it has been quite a journey, and I don't think that I think everything happens for a reason. I believe now that that you're put in someone's path for a reason. I believe that all of us are going to come together who's meant to be together to make a difference. And we all want to make a difference. And you especially, you want to help people. You want to help those kids that are getting hurt. And there's not a lot of people out there in this world that want to make the kind of difference that you're making. And you don't want to do it for yourself. You want to do it to help people. And I think that number one is what brought me to you, is because I love helping people too. And even in our lowest times, there's always that light or person that brings us out of it and encourages them to get back up, get back on the saddle and ride.
Yeah.
And I truly think that once you let go of all that shit that just makes you completely miserable, then you can start living your life and everything falls into place.
That's it exactly. There were so many times where it was just me and you, girl. You were the last of the mows, and I was just so wanting to walk away and just be done with it and that, and you just kept saying, just please don't give up on me, we need to do this together and just don't give up. And it was like, I didn't want to let you down in the end. I knew there was something, but I was just so tired, and I'd been battered and taken to the absolute lowest point of everything, and you were still there. Every morning you turn up, good morning, how are you, how's your day, and I couldn't have done it without you, and
you're gonna make me cry.
I'm sorry. I wasn't expecting to. It's just that I wasn't expecting that you would end up being one of the strongest parts of who I became. It was a surprise to me too.
In the corner. You put me in the corner so many times.
I know. I know. Oh God, but we've come out the other side. It's like we crawled through that shit pipe together, and we came out, and it's like,
we helped each other.
yeah, and it's just been an absolute privilege and an honor to finally allow myself to get to know the you that you really were. I was so busy dealing with everything else that I didn't see what you were to me until I had nothing, and then you were all I saw. When it was just you and I left, with everything that you were going through, with your dad and stuff like that, you were still there, and it was like, fuck, I need her, whether I like to admit it or not. She's a part of what is making me want to fight all of this, and it the support that I got from you and Nikki and like Joanne and Chris and Martin and my kids, and yous were all I had left in the end, and I couldn't have done any of it without you, and I can't wait to show the world what you can do, because it's just been a privilege watching this little gem come out of you. You started as a lump of coal and you've become a diamond.
Well, thank you.
And I'm loving every minute of this new class that we're doing. It's just, I don't know, it's been like oxygen. It's just brought life into all of us, We
can just breathe freely.
Yeah, I can't wait to meet you. I really can't. I so desperately just want to wrap my boobs around you and give you a big hug, and I can't wait to work with you. I can't wait to get our gifts together, because I know what's starting to happen between all of us now. I can't wait to go to Gettysburg, because you're in Pennsylvania. So there's so many places in Pennsylvania I want to go to where we can do our and help people and show people what we can do. And it's just been a privilege and an honor. I honestly, you were the biggest surprise that came out of this whole adventure.
Yeah, I surprise myself sometimes.
All right, sweetheart. Well, I'm going to let you go, but thank you so much for giving me your time, and I'll speak to you soon, and we're going to Did you want a refresher on the automatic writing, or?
No, I remember exactly how to do it.
Okay.
You taught me very well.
Okay, that's good, because we're going to start doing some communication soon, so I want to introduce you to a couple of dead people I know.
Okay.
All right, so I'll speak to you soon, and you have a beautiful Friday.
You too, Mama.
All right, love you. All right, bye.
Love you too. Bye.